goal of this call right here is to help you. So now you go out and help them. And the way you help them is you ask them, how are you?
What's up, Richard?
What's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. What call are you on?
I'm not on one. I just pulled my phone out because I wanted to go to that Positively Dad Facebook group that he was talking about. What's up, Laura?
Morning.
Good morning. Still a little bit before 8:30. I'm just kind of been turning this thing on when his thing ends, or as close to it as I can.
Yes. Is the team meeting at 11?
Yep. It's a big name on it this morning.
Yeah, I saw that. A lot of Zooming this morning.
Let me tell you, my Mondays are Zoom heavy. Morning, Bethany.
Who's on the meeting at 11 today?
Scott said he'll give you a hint. His name is on your for sale signs. So it's probably one of two people.
Keller or William?
Bringing in the big guns.
I'm gonna guess Williams because he's in the Carolina region.
Oh, he's in Scott's. He's one of Scott's business partners in Raleigh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. He's like a minority partner in the Raleigh office. He was on their mastermind last week. So yeah, Gary was on. I don't know if you guys heard Amanda talking on there, but Gary was on our team leader Zoom yesterday. It was pretty awesome. My Mondays are, I have the 8 o'clock James Shaw, this thing at 8:30. I had 9:30 compliance yesterday. Then I had a 10 o'clock Zoom call. And then I had an 11:30 Zoom call, and then a noon Zoom call, and then a 1 Zoom call, and then a 2:30 Zoom call. And then I was open from 3 until 4, and then a 4 o'clock Zoom call. So I was open from 11 to 11:30 and from 3 to 4 yesterday. Other than that, I was on Zoom.
That sounds like you had a super productive day.
Yeah. Well, but the good thing is I learned a bunch about a bunch of awesome stuff. So have you guys looked at Keller Covered at all?
No.
Keller what?
Keller Covered. They talked about it on James Shaw thing this morning. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna post a thing in a link in the chat, because we each actually, as agents, we each have our own landing page that we can send out to clients if we want to. I don't know if you guys have preferred insurance people or not, but that landing page gives us access to send Keller Covered stuff out. It also updates like every couple of days with new social media stuff to send out about it. But there was a lot of people on that one of the Zoom calls yesterday, the team leader Zoom call, that were talking about the success they've been having with it. Like they had people who were with whatever company, like Allstate or whatever, and they were able to save like $400 just even with the same company, just going through Keller Covered, because Keller Covered is a big conglomerate, and they negotiate their rates based on how big they are and how many agents are using it. So they're able to get cheaper rates than what your average person would be able to get just by going to Allstate office in town or whatever. So just another cool advantage. Partner that up with Keller Mortgage, it makes it pretty awesome and gives a lot of value to clients. So I just posted that link in the chat if you want to check it out. It's pretty cool. It just shows you that, and it takes you to creating your own landing page. Actually, here I can show you what here, I'll just share my screen. I forgot about sharing my screen. Yeah, so that's what my landing page looks like.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. It's already built. You just got to know what the website is. You can link to it from your existing Keller Williams site if you want to. So pretty cool. Just a cool extra I didn't really even know we had until yesterday. So what everybody take away from the call this morning?
Being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
How's that working for you?
I've been that way for 18 months. So. But it's okay because it's made me realize that I can grow.
Yep.
You know.
Growth doesn't usually happen when you're comfortable, right?
Right. Exactly. I just need to teach that to the people who live in my house. I did watch the mortgage Zoom, Matt, that you posted last night. That was very informative.
Cool. Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that I hadn't posted it on our page. I shared it on my regular Facebook page because I wanted other agents to be able to see it also, potential recruits. But then I didn't realize that I had not shared it back yet with our office group. So hopefully some people will check that out. Yeah, I thought it was cool. It gets kind of meaty in the middle there, but the beginning and the end were pretty informative. It gets a little bit mortgage language heavy there in the middle.
Yeah.
But
you stopped them and they kind of cleared it up.
Yep. So what were your notes, Richard, from this morning?
I honestly did not get a lot of notes this morning. I mean, I've always fought with being comfortable with being uncomfortable. And with me, it's a little different. I mean, I do a lot of cold calling, and it is like when I first started doing it, I mean, goodness, back in like 2011, 2012, I mean, it was exciting, and now it's like just another day making calls. Mm-hmm. So it's one thing I'm working on today is really working on my big why. That's something I really need to get back into is why do I get up every morning? Why do I do what I'm doing every day? Are my goals still the same that they used to be? And ultimately, what do I want to accomplish with everything that I'm doing? Because, I wouldn't necessarily say, that my calls are uncomfortable because, I mean, I can make, cold calls and lead gen calls in my sleep. But it's more so just finding the motivation. So that's probably the biggest thing that I got from the call this morning, because I do care a lot. That's one of the reasons why I got into real estate, is to help people. I saw, down in Clearwater Beach, like in 05, 06, people just paying stupid money for houses. And I just didn't understand. I didn't understand the value of what people were paying for this stuff. And I mean, they all lost their shirts, and I'm like, and so I got into this business, wanting to give my community, you know, solid advice and not just, you know, commission breath and trying to make money. And so just getting across to people that I care. I was calling this neighborhood yesterday. It's you know, the average sales price is about 140, 150. So it's a little bit less than I'm wanting to sell, but it's a nice neighborhood and it's close to my house. And I'm calling these folks, and they were just so appreciative that I was calling. They just, honestly, it took them a while. They were taken aback that I was actually calling them. This one guy actually called me back. I talked to his wife, and he called me back, and he's like, let me get this right. You're a local real estate agent. You're with Keller Williams, and you're calling people to see how you can help them right now. Like, and he was like, no one else is doing this. And he's like, he's just like, he was so thankful. He was like, dude, we're good. But, you know, he's like, thank you so much for asking us, you know, if we need anything. And,
awesome.
and so that's just, it really motivated me a lot yesterday that, you know, we are, you know, community ambassadors. And if we're doing our job right, you know, and getting in touch with our, you know, community, you know, we should, you know, really be able to help a lot of people. So
awesome.
That's where my mindset is at right now.
Your big why has changed a little bit since the little one arrived, right?
To be honest with you, not really. I mean, I've always, you know, known I was going to be a father, you know, and I've always, you know, because I was raised by my mom. My dad was not in my life. And so I've always wanted, you know, to be the man that I did not have in my life and the role model that I did not have in my life. And my biggest why has always been, you know, I got on, you know, really looked up to Warrick Dunn, being from Atlanta. You know, he was a running back for quite a few years. And he buys houses and does down payments for single mothers. He buys their houses, or he, you know, gets hooked up with Habitat Humanity, and he pays for their down payment, and he completely stocks the house with all the appliances and things like that they need. And that's always been something that I want to do and help out. And, you know, and so I'm just like, to me, it's like a dream, you know, it's like, I would love to be able to do that, but I really want to make that a reality. And, you know, it just seems so far-fetched that, like, I just don't know where to start. So I just need to, you know, do some more research. Yeah.
I too want to give away a house.
Dates and accountability.
Yeah, my last company, that was something that we had as the big goal, to like give away a house. And then we started this year, we're going to start working on like fundraising ideas and stuff like that, and working with the guidance counselors at schools to find somebody to match somebody that just needed that little bit of help. Anyways, because so I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's always been one of my things also. I have a whole elaborate plan in my head. I just haven't ever put it into place.
Oh my gosh. We got to bring this together.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know you were interested in that too, Matt.
Yep. There's I did a thing. There's a jeweler that did this really awesome thing. Probably 10 years ago, 12 years ago. It's called the Diamond Dash. And it was like a scavenger hunt, where basically couples who were like getting ready to be engaged, or, you know, close to being engaged, whatever, did a scavenger hunt all around Columbia. And every place that they went, it was all sponsored by vendors. And so it was like, you know, you had to go to this wedding dress store and, you know, find something and take a picture of it and pick up their little ad while you were there. And then you had to go to, and you had like this thing that had to, it was on your phone, they had to like check off or whatever, like put their code in to say that you'd been there. And then it wasn't all vendors. There was things like, you got to go find the place in Columbia that, like the little plaque that talks about, you know, this event that happened during the Civil War. And then you got to go to whatever other, like it was a lot of wedding related stuff. And so whoever did it and got all of the things done fastest won. And they won like whatever it is, like a $10,000 gift card for Carolina Fine Jewelry to go buy.
Wow.
And it was like all the vendors, I'm pretty sure, paid to be a part of it. And so, because it was hundreds and hundreds of people that were doing it. And so it was, hundreds of people coming through your wedding dress shop and hundreds of people coming through your wedding cake shop and, all this stuff. So they probably paid for it all. And the vendor, the jewelry, where the Carolina Fine Jewelry was the one that put it on, but they probably didn't even really have to kick too much in. Like they probably sold a ring at cost or something. But then the thing is, they had however many hundreds of people who were about to get engaged who registered, and they had all of their email addresses, all of their phone numbers, and we're just like, okay, cool. So we basically sold a ring at cost and they put this awesome event on that the vendors pretty much paid for the whole thing and paid for the cost of the wedding ring. And now we have hundreds of people we can advertise to who are all gonna be buying wedding rings pretty soon. So I was like, dude, why would I not do that with a house?
Yeah.
Like go have appliance, like go to Jeffers McGill and be like, okay, all these people are looking for a house. And there's way more people looking for houses than who are looking to get married, I feel like, because everybody's looking for a house at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So get like Jeffers McGill appliances and get a landscape company and get whatever and have everybody kick in however much it is and pay for a down payment or pay for whatever it might be. And then you're giving away a house.
Love it.
And not only are you giving away a house, but you're also getting however many hundreds of real estate leads to start following up with the people who may want to buy a house.
Yeah, you gotta have like a whole team in place to handle that.
What do you say?
You gotta have like a whole team in place to handle that.
Yep. For sure. So, what were other takeaways from this morning? We got kind of sidetracked there. Were you on it, Sarah Jane?
Yeah, I was on it. I'm trying to remember. He was talking about looking at your models and questioning your models. I feel like that's pretty much what I've been doing for the past week, getting ready to move over to Keller Williams anyway. Just trying to make it happen. I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels. Like I'm doing like little things. I know there's a better way to do it, but I'm like, I'm just going to do it like this until I figure out what else is going on. Like,
Yep.
So we're just going to keep going. I have like 7 spreadsheets for my database right now. I'm like, we'll get it worked out. It'll get into command.
Command will fix that, and Bold will help you figure out the models, and you'll get in there. It won't take long.
It's just like, cause I'm just refreshing everything. Like, cause I did have a whole staff at my disposal. And now I'm like, oh, how am I going to do this much business and not have a whole staff?
You got a staff. You're just making your staff instead of sharing with other people.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to be real nice.
Yep. There's a model for that.
There's an app for that.
I don't really think we've ever talked about the 7 levels of a real estate team, but first level is yourself. Second level is yourself and an admin. The third level is, what do you think the third level is? Richard, you know the third level?
Admin, third level. So first level is yourself. Second level is transaction coordinator. Third level is listing specialist.
Buyer specialist.
I thought it was either a showing agent or a buyer's agent.
That's fourth level.
Admin, transaction coordinator, showing agent.
Oh, I
and-
had a flip flop. Admin, transaction coordinator. I had a flip flopped.
Yep. How's the lady who hasn't joined KW know the levels better than you guys know?
I know. I was just thinking that.
Well,
Way to make us all look bad, Sarah Jane.
I've been friends with Keller Williams people for a long time. And they're
Yeah.
like, read the red book.
Yep.
Like, okay.
First level is yourself. Second level is an admin. third level is another admin, which makes your first admin usually be like a lead admin, and then the second admin is a transaction coordinator, and then you hire a buyer's agent. And there's a whole financial model that goes along with that talks about dollar per hour, because when you're building a team, all you're doing is you're systematically increasing your dollar per hour, and that's the whole goal of building a team. So systematically increasing your dollar per hour, going from you doing deal to adding 2 admins. The reason that makes sense is because you have to have the admin support for your agents in order to provide enough value for them to be able to pay you the split that they need to pay you as an agent. So if you're not providing the value, then they don't have a reason to be on your team.
Good point.
So you got to get your admins trained up and get your systems down and everything before you start hiring the buyer's agents. And that's the biggest, like, number one mistake. I mean, I've made that mistake with my team because I started building my team before I really knew what I was doing. And that's the biggest mistake people make, is they go one admin, then they go buyer's agents, and then those buyer's agents are never happy because they aren't getting enough value.
Yeah, I at least said 2 admins. I just had the admin positions wrong.
Hey, Tasha.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Bethany's still scared to show her face, huh?
Today, yeah.
Wow.
That's the awesome thing about Zoom. There's, morning Zooms, there's like, there's always a few people who are like, no. So what do you guys think about yesterday on the Carolinas regional page? Mark Brenneman, who's our regional director, had told us for a little while, he's like, we've all been super stressed. We've all been trying to make sure that our people are ready and have all the training that we can have for them. And there's all this stuff going on. We've all been working like 20-hour days. So we're just going to have a fun thing on Monday, because we have a call every Monday with regional leadership. So he said, we're going to have a fun thing Monday. So yesterday from 1 to 2, we had a in-home scavenger hunt.
Oh, God.
Whoa.
That was pretty hilarious. One of the things involved finding a onesie and wearing it. So,
I got one of those.
so
I have one too, but it's really hot.
So we had a bunch of TLs wearing like Shark onesies and
That
like
took me a minute. Oh, God.
Ralphie onesie from Christmas Story and like all these different hilarious things.
I have a Cookie
Somebody
Monster onesie.
Somebody had a Barney suit somehow. So it was pretty hilarious. They was on Zoom. They split us all up in groups of like 4 or 5 and had a list posted on Google Drive of what the stuff was that we needed to get. So they gave us all like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. We all had to run around our houses. My kids were running around. The kids dumped their piggy bank out. We had to find a 1974 penny.
Wow.
Kids
What?
dumped their piggy bank out and look for pennies. So it's pretty hilarious. I'm thinking about doing that on an upcoming office meeting. What do you guys think about that?
That would be fun.
That could be
Have
funny.
humor.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. What did you think? Tasha, were you on the call this morning?
I wasn't. No. I barely made this call.
Yeah, it was good. They went away from shift and we're talking a lot about Gary and his Think Like a CEO stuff. He's been doing a lot of that lately. Cool. You guys going to be on the command training at 9?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm going to do 9 or 4. We'll
Okay.
see.
Cool. What do you guys think of the half an hour at a time format?
Love it.
I love that because it's not too much to take in at once.
Mhm.
Agree.
Cool. That was the ALC decided on that. We were trying to figure out whether it would be like, just don't take 5 days from people, just do it one day and knock it all out in like 2.5 hours or something. And they're like, yeah, I think it's better to do a little bit over time. So
Yeah.
I think that works.
And the fact that he reposts so I could go back through last night
Yeah.
was nice.
What is Keller Williams Pro?
I don't know.
Cool. Somebody called me yesterday and said they were gonna they had leads in my area and that they were the software people that made all of Keller Williams software stuff, and it's like Keller Williams Pro or something like that, and it was like EX or maybe an Edge or something, and I was like,
There's a thing called eEdge.
eEdge.
Yeah, that's our old software that Command replaced.
Okay, so we're no longer. Okay.
You won't even ever get into eEdge. There's some people who still have their old eEdge accounts that I haven't like transferred over to Command yet. But most people are making that transition. When Command first came out, it didn't have smart plans and stuff, and eEdge still did. And so some people were still using eEdge until Command got smart plans out. But now that Command has smart plans, I think that was the only reason why people were still holding on to eEdge a little bit. So I don't really think.
Well, with like onboarding and figuring out all the new stuff, I'm like, is this a sales call or is this trying to help me set stuff up? And I'm like,
that was a scammy call. Nobody's gonna be calling you to set anything up unless it's us. Like if it's me or Andrew or somebody in our office, will be helping you set stuff up. But
okay, cool.
It's not outside vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yep. Well, cool. Anybody have anything else for this morning? Any last minute motivators? Go get him, go get him, go get him, go get him. Make those calls.
After 2 more Zooms.
Yeah, don't we have a team leader thing today?
Yeah, I got an office meeting at 11. That's going to be a good one. I don't know everything that's going to be going on in it, but I know that there's going to be a big name on it. It's one of the guys whose name's on your signs. Well, not your signs yet, but hopefully your signs by the end of the week.
I look at them sometimes.
I was going to say you got some, you just don't have them up yet.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, that's at 11. And then we also, Tuesdays, we have mastermind at 3 p.m. And today I haven't set up a panel for it. I was just going to go through today and just talk about like what you guys want for mastermind. Since I got a small group of people here, what kind of things do you feel like you need right now from us as a market center? What kind of support, what kind of trainings, what kind of masterminds, what are you needing that you're not getting right now?
I think I'm getting a lot.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of training right now.
Yeah, I think it's less about what I need from the market center versus like what I need for myself. Like just the expectations that I need to have for myself every day. And it's, honestly probably coming up with a schedule and following it.
Yeah.
No matter what. I've never really worked off of a schedule. I've always allowed my schedule to be very fluid.
Yeah. So that's something I've been working on too. The way that I've started to do that is Scott has talked to me about it a little bit, but especially like we all have priorities and we all have things that we can do. And I'm not going to go into a whole calendar training session or anything, but like with kids and we all have outside influences that are probably going to affect our schedule. When I can't really help when my son walks in and tells me he pooped his pants or something, that kind of makes my schedule, change a little bit. But the thing to do is, and it's not very complicated, is write down a calendar of what your ideal day looks like. And then just do that. So like, what does your ideal day look like? And I'll just tell like mine, if I'm, like I have mine in front of me on a piece of paper that I've been working on. And so mine is 6:30 to 7. Well, I wake up, say 6:30 and have some kind of like physical activity, whether that's running or doing push-ups with my kids or sit-ups or whatever. And then 7 to 8 is kind of just like shower, breakfast time, with family. And then on a normal day, 8 to 8:30 would be planning for my day, of just, like, what am I going to do? What do I need? How's my day going to work? Do I need to have a little, scheduled lunch kind of thing to make sure that I get lunch because I got meetings all day, or what it's going to look like. So 8 to 8:30 is planning. 8:30 to 9 is answering emails. Right now, I've got 9 to 9:30 as kid time because I've got to do something with them instead of just letting them watch TV all day. And then from 9:30 to 12 is lead gen. And then at 12 is lunch. 12 to 12:30 is kid time. I'm sorry, 12:30 to 1 is kid time. And then 1 to 2:30 is an appointment with a little kid time at the end of that. And then another appointment and another appointment with kid time in between. And then the rest of the day is family time after my third appointment starting about 6 o'clock. So that, like, if you just write your ideal day down and then put it on your calendar, like I've said this a bunch, but the whole time blocking thing, I didn't really understand time blocking. Like, I always thought it was, okay, this morning what do I have on my calendar? Okay, I've got these appointments. So I got to make sure that I have that on my calendar because those are my appointments. But that's not really time blocking. Time blocking is saying, okay, what is my month going to look like? It's April 7th right now. So what are the other 23 days of this month going to look like for me? And go ahead and just put them on your calendar right now and block those off, because you know that, like I know as a team leader, I'm supposed to have 40 appointments a month, with, new agents, with agents in our office, with, existing agents, whatever. And so I go ahead and just put those appointments on my calendar at the beginning of the month. And then like the time frames, the time slots of those appointments. And then they're on my calendar and they can't be moved. And then there's no names in them, but their appointments are there. And then whenever somebody, I talk to somebody and they need to schedule an appointment, I look at my calendar. I'm like, okay, which appointments do I have on my calendar already that don't have names in them? And then I just put the names in. So it can be the same thing. Like, hopefully, from your goals, like how many listing appointments you need to have and how many buyers appointments you need to have. And so you can just put appointments on your calendar and then fill in like buyer's appointment with this person. And then, I have a listing appointment. I could either do, 1 o'clock on Wednesday or 3 o'clock on Friday, because those are the time slots that I've put in my calendar to be appointments. And then all I do is fill the names in. So, and then that when you do it that way, then none of the other distractions and other stuff, come in and take over for that. And you don't go half a month and realize like, oh crap, I haven't had any appointments. Or, oh crap, I haven't done my lead gen, because it's on there. And and stuff's going to come up, like random, whatever. And so when it comes up, that's fine. You just replace whatever appointment, but you got to move that appointment, and, you don't delete it. You just move it somewhere else to make sure that it's still getting in. So that's my thought, is it takes like, half an hour to an hour of time just to go through and say, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and block my calendar for the whole month, and you got to, have closings on there and have whatever on there, so that and that's why you got to block it ahead of time, so that you know that like these are my slots for closings. And so when people are trying to get closings done, you can say, okay, well, I've got this time or that time that would work for me, and you just fit it in there, and that way you're controlling your schedule. And if it has to happen at a different time, you just move whatever's that time and make sure it still happens. Like, swap it out with one of your other appointments.
That's why paper calendar works easier, Matt.
I don't think so, but to each his own. My electronic calendar, I just drag. There's no erasing. There's no crossing through. It's just all right there. And I have it at my fingertips all day. And my wife can see it, and my team can see it, and everybody can see it. But to each their own.
Yes.
The thing is, as long as you have a calendar and you're trying to do better and live by it, and, let that dictate your schedule, I think that's the key indicator of success. And that, like, if I don't remember which one it was with James a few days ago, but that's one of the things he talked about was like the key indicator. And MREA, there's all these different things and all this different stuff, and every big top agent, they pretty much do everything different except for all the top people have a calendar and they stick to it. They block lead gen time, they block appointment time.
Right.
That's the one common factor of all top agents, it seems like, or at least what the MREA says. So
Should that be a mastermind topic
could be.
for our office?
Boom.
It's a good one.
I will put that down. Maybe we'll do that this afternoon. Cool.
That's at 3 p.m. today?
3 p.m. Yep. And it's on, if you go to KWP resource and look at the calendar, the Zoom link's on there.
Okay.
So it'll be on there. And if you guys aren't checking out that KWP resource site, there's a lot of info on there on the events page, and you know, you can always stay up to date with what's going on there. We'll post some reminders on Facebook too. All right, guys, I got to roll because I got to get my Zoom available for the 9 o'clock command training.
Command. Alrighty. Thank
I feel
you.
like I
Thank
See you
you.
later. Bye.
talked today. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
We'll
Y'all
see
have a
you.
good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.